buy a pair that's about $400-500 can last you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Did you explain about the hand sole now? How the shoes can be extended?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, actually the hand sole now, maybe you can bring me a pair of hand sole now.
Sure.
Okay. And again, our shoes here, we have a customer can choose, right, to have the sole routed by hand onto the main the upper body. And the beauty of this kind of shoe is that first, of course, it's leather, so it's breathable as opposed to this. This is a typical cheap shoe, right? Composite sole. So it's not leather.
Oh, okay.
And because it's not leather, it's not as pliable. So
Very stiff.
and then here can also over time have stress mark
Oh,
and crack.
I see. That's why you crack.
So if you normally when a customer buy a good pair of shoe with good leather, I'll say, so if you don't mind, just pay another $150 more.
Okay.
Upgrade to hand sole routed leather also. Why? Because when you wear this shoe after some time, you realize the shoe start to wear its head, and here also start to tilt upwards. Because why? This leather, and when two leather is being stitched together, when you wear, as you walk, you flex this way and that way. The leather here also start to form towards your feet.
I
So
see.
in fact, the most comfortable pair of shoe, no doubt, has to be hand-melted shoes. Because, and the beauty of this hand-melted shoe is that,
I wanted leather shoes.
yeah, hand-melted leather shoes.
Leather.
And if this sole wears out, as we know, upper body of the shoe, the leather, if it's good, can last a long time. But here cannot last as long. So when it's a hand sole melted,
So you get to replace.
re-welted, yeah, exactly. So,
Stitch again.
so you get a new shoe, you get a new outsole, but your upper body is still the same soft one, and then you can go through the whole breaking process again.
Okay.
There's a big difference actually.
Great. So we will talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll
When I hold shoes.
Oh, okay. Okay. We'll just hold it. So you ready?
Yeah.
You ready? I'm ready.
Okay. How are you gonna activate it?
No, it's already on.
Oh, really?
No, we will. You can turn off the music if you like. Yeah. And then I'll count to 3, and after that, the first run will be just 1 minute because I just need to 1, 2, and this is the first take, and then the second take will go all the way.
Sure.
1, 2, and 3. Hi, welcome to the National Quiz Toys Online News. I'm Robin Stienberg, and welcome to the Stienberg Review. And here we have Mr. Victor Lee, who is the owner of Diamond Walker here in Singapore. Cut. This is test one.
Sure.
Okay, now this for the second take. I will mention you, Victor Lee, as the Chief Executive Officer here in Singapore, and Diamond Walker is the branch of there's a branch here in Singapore, right? This is a branch.
In fact, it's not a branch. In fact,
franchise.
Diamond Walker is not a franchise. Many people think we're a franchise. Actually, Diamond Walker itself is the first of its kind in the world.
Okay.
And we are bringing Singapore as the first place to have it. And of course, needless to say, we have plans to go elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Diamond Walker is a brand owned by the Korean guy founder.
I'm the founder actually.
Oh, you're the founder.
I'm the founder. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm the founder. The concept is basically my brainchild,
Okay.
right? And then I basically I have a Korean
Partner.
shoemaker,
Okay.
shoe designer. Because like I say, I'm the business brain, right?
Okay.
I need,
Okay.
yeah, out of Chin Yap basically.
Okay.
He's
So
the
he's our business partner.
Okay.
Essentially, we are the business end of the business. He is the
Creative.
the
Creative guy.
the creative and the production side of the business. So he's our
Okay.
partner. We've basically collaborated and to create this brand called Diamond Walker.
Okay.
We have heritage of 6 years in Korea, but the
7
brand-
years.
7 years. But the brand name is very Korean, and I don't.
But it's owned by him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's owned by him. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Just to be politically correct.
to get the correct.
I got to, yeah, otherwise I'll be in trouble. The Koreans will be.
Killing you.
But I mean, we are partners, so it is our
Yeah.
this is our shoes.
Yeah.
It's our shoes.
Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Hi, welcome to the National Quiz Toys Online News, and welcome to my show. I'm Robin Stienberg, and welcome to the Stienberg Review. Today I have a very interesting story, and that is all about shoes, and it's made in Singapore brand known as Diamond Walker. Now, most of you may have heard about this brand in Korea as well, and Diamond Walker has been mentioned in many prestigious magazines such as Esquire in the United States. Now, Diamond Walker is founded by a Singaporean businessman known as Mr. Victor Lee. He is the Chief Executive Officer based in Singapore, and he has 2 boutique shops based on this island, here at China Square Central, and the other over at Marina Bay Sands. Now, on my right, Mr. Victor Lee is going to tell us the story about shoes and why it's important to invest in good shoes. Mr. Victor Lee, welcome to my show.
Hi, Robin. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, here at the National Critics' Choice, and I'd like to congratulate you for the National Critics' Choice Award for the best, shoes maker, and really it's for bespoke style, in fact. And Mr. Victor Lee will be telling us and educating our audience what is bespoke. Now, Mr. Victor, tell us about how you first founded the concept about creating this niche market for men and as well as for women, in making custom-made shoes.
It started about 2 years ago when this idea really came really right in front of me. But way before that, I've always been a shoe lover, and I was basically quite unhappy with my inability to get shoes that fit the way it should be, right? So it always gotten me to think like, why do I pay for a pair of shoes and only get one side of the shoe that fits me the way it should be, right? And then the other one end up having to be somehow not the correct fit. Because as you know, most humans are not made symmetrically. So our left foot and our right foot is hardly ever the same. If they are the same in terms of the length, they are not the same in terms of the width. And if they are the same in the length and the width, they are almost never the same in terms of the instep, which is the thickness of the feet. So with that, if you buy a pair of shoes, whatever the brand is, let's say you pay $500 for a pair of good shoes, you end up buying a pair of shoes that fits your larger side of your feet. And then the other side you have to compromise by leaving in extra space. And trust me, to walk in a pair of shoes that doesn't fit you well is not exactly a good experience. So with all this and all these things in the market, I started to think, what if I can bring design and also bespoke shoemaking to the market and give it a slight twist? I think there might be enough followers, and I think there should be enough demand. So with that, I sat down and talked to our creative designer, Mr. O, which is based in Korea, and started asking, hey, I have this crazy idea. Would you like to be part of it? Because like I say, it's an idea, but I need a creative input. So without much convincing needs to be done, he pretty much took me up and said, come on, let's do it. And that was how Diamond Walker was born.
Well, and I was thinking about how Diamond Walker gave birth to our society today, in Singapore and around the world. Why do you name Diamond Walker?
Okay, actually, Diamond Walker itself is a name that came up because in the early stages of the planning, we actually wanted to detail the shoe with some real diamonds, which we have actually done so. But obviously, we're not launching it yet right now. We are keeping it for the near future. So the idea came about, and of course, a pair of shoes. Who wears a pair of shoes? What do you wear a pair of shoes for? Walking, right? So, so the name came out quite naturally, Diamond Walker.
Oh, yeah. So it's by accident, but somehow.
Pretty much so, yeah, exactly. I was looking for a nice name, and then you can say somehow by coincidence or by accident.
Now, how do you manage to find a good shoemaker in Korea? I mean, is there a story behind it?
Actually, there's the shoemaker we found in Korea is also from our partner, which is the creative director himself, Mr. O. He has been in the shoe business for a long time, and he knows, okay, in Korea there's only 5 shoe masters that can make shoes with hand-sewn welt, right? And one of them is with us. So, of course, like I say, I can have a business idea, I can have a winning business idea, but if I don't have the creative input to support the business idea, and I don't have a good shoemaker, then I think the idea will not basically be sustainable.
Now, someone asked is that why didn't you find a good shoemaker, someone like from the United States or in the UK or Europe? Why Korea?
Okay, I guess Korea has always been a very interesting market or society by itself, and the workmanship that comes out of Korea is actually very high, but yet pretty inexpensive, right? I mean, if you were to get a shoemaker from the European countries like Italy or even like France or even like US, well, the workmanship can be good, but the price, again, I don't think is so competitive. And again, I think one of the main reasons is also, after all, we are focusing our market for now, okay, in Asia. So we wanted to have the Asia flavor to it. But of course, again, a shoemaker can always make a pair of shoes for European, for Asia, for the matter. It's about the workmanship actually.
Amazing. Now, could you also tell our audience more about the importance of why they should invest in a good custom-made shoes versus shoes that were ready-made and versus shoes that has been made probably so-called, they claim themselves to be custom-made shoes, such as Mr. Mint. You know?
Okay. Well, for starter, I like to use this a lot. It's either you're on, in your life, it's either you're in your bed, if not you're in your shoes, right? So if you're going to spend so much time in your bed, you might as well get a good mattress. And if you're going to spend so much time in your shoes, I think it pays and makes a lot of business sense or money sense to buy a pair of comfortable shoes. So again, why bespoke shoes as compared to ready to wear? I mentioned earlier on in just a couple of minutes ago, our feet, our left foot and our right foot is never the same. So really, a pair of ready to wear shoes off the rack from the typical shoe store, just doesn't quite make sense. And so for me, it's a personal choice. And of course, for the rest of the custom-made shoes, yeah, they customize some aspect of the shoe, like they allow you to change the buckle, change a bit of this and that, a bit of detailing. But again, they never take care of the part where I mentioned we can have the left feet broader than the right feet, the left foot, higher or thicker than the right foot, basically. So I think that pretty much sums up why I would really go for a pair of bespoke shoes as compared to ready to wear.
Wow, when someone comes to your shop for the first time, to place an order for their shoes, and what can they expect?
Okay, for starter, when it typically take about an hour to an hour and a half to walk a customer through the concept and then helping him to choose the leather type, to choose the shoe type, the shape, what we call the last, and of course we measure him up. So a customer can basically be looking forward to a very high-touch service, meaning to say that we really walk the customer through the collection, and then also understanding the customer needs in terms of, what kind of work is he in, for example. It's important because that can have impact on the kind of shoe he chooses, right? Of course, like I say, if a customer is buying for casual, for weekend wear, then it's a different story altogether. But I will say a typical diamond worker customer can expect very high level of service, and we pay a lot of attention right down to the details. Yeah.
Now, folks, for those of you who are wondering whether you choose having your shoes made 100% leather or partially leather and with wooden sole underneath, I think Victor is going to explain to us the difference and what is worth your while. Yes, so Victor, could you tell us the difference between this sole, the wooden sole, and the full leather range sole?
Sure, why not? It's my pleasure. Okay, as you can see, this shoe I'm holding on my right, this is actually a entry-level outsole. We call it composite sole, right? It's non-leather, obviously, and as compared to the pair that Robin is holding on, it's actually a hand-welted with a leather outsole. The key difference is, of course, one is leather and one is non-leather, composite sole, and leather is breathable and this is non-breathable. So obviously it will be more comfortable to wear a pair of shoes that's made with leather outsole. And I'll come to the part about the hand melting later on in a bit. Okay. Being a non-leather outsole on this pair is not as pliable as a leather. As we know, leather is very stretchable and has got high tensile property. So this pair of shoe, over time, as you wear it, it may exhibit some stress lying along this area or even this area, and over time it can actually snap and crack as compared to a leather outsole. Okay, this aside, the other thing is also the fact that it's a composite outsole means that it's cemented onto the upper body of the shoe, right? And this, as compared to this, will not be as comfortable in the long run, because when a pair of shoes have a leather outsole that's hand belted, it allows the shoe to form to the shape of your feet over time as you wear it, or as you break the shoes, or as you wear the shoe over a period of time. The leather itself will actually stretch, right? The upper and the lower will stretch and slowly will form towards your feet, and therefore make it more comfortable. And if you were to put the shoe flat on the surface like that, you start to see that a hand-belted leather outsole shoe will start to rear its head up. Because why? You're actually stretching the leather and breaking in the shoes. And of course, last but not least, the most important part of a hand-belted shoe is, as we all know, a good pair of shoe made with a good, for example, calf skin, can last a long time. Right, over years, this one gets softer, but the outsole unfortunately never lasts as long. So with a pair of hand melted shoe, it allows the owner of this pair of shoe to, over time, as the sole gone beyond repair possibility, you can actually send it back to us. We can get the whole outsole ripped off and get a new outsole and hand melt it onto your main body again. Therefore, giving you a pair of, letting you keep your very comfortable pair of leather shoe.
Now, speaking about comfort, Victor, how long does it take for a customer to place an order and then receive the final product?
Okay, typically the lead time here at Diamond Walker is between 6 to 7 weeks, right? So after the order is placed, it will take about 6 to 7 weeks before the customer can receive his shoes. Yeah.
Wow. So folks, here at the National Business Choice, thank you for joining me with Mr. Victor Lee, the Chief Executive Officer for Diamond Walker. And before we let him go, we want to ask him this very important question, that's sent in by one of our readers, and that is, if you had not started Diamond Walker, what would you do?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I never thought of it.
Would you have gone into fashion accessories or menswear?
Actually, never. I've never actually thought about going to the fashion business actually. So, really, if I've never started Diamond Walker, now maybe I would be thinking of the next big idea that I'll be working on, because I do have a lot of ideas up here actually. Yeah.
And so now, and also, what's your philosophy about Diamond Walker right now? Really, have you developed a philosophy about having good shoes, wearing good shoes?
I think over here at Diamond Walker, me and my team, what we want to do or what we aspire to do in this part of the world, at least, is really to bring to the market about shoe appreciation. I think Singapore, as recent as 20 years or 25 years ago, nobody really give too much thought into a glass of red wine, right? Or maybe not even many people are drinking wine or red wine or white wine. So over time, somebody brought it to the market, educate the market, and tell people what is wine all about and how to appreciate wine. So at Diamond Walker, we hope or we aspire to do the same with shoes, because a good pair of shoes can really elevate a man's status, social or otherwise. And what we want to do really is to bring shoe appreciation to the market and tell people how to care for a pair of shoes and why a pair of shoes is just as important as your suit that you're wearing and stuff like that. So to sum it up, basically shoe appreciation.
So do you believe that the next trend for the shoe market is that more people in Asia will be willing to spend more for a good, comfortable shoes?
I'm almost certainly sure that will be the case, because as with any economy that has gone through, every economy goes through pretty much same way of growth, right? And Singapore and Asia, with Asia rising right now and people having more spending power, people are not so happy to just get a pair of shoes off the shelf. It's like everybody else is wearing the same pair. So yes, I do think that for Asia, or in fact anywhere in the world, as the economy gets more developed, right, and get more mature, people will tend to want to be a little bit more different in either the choice of shoes or the choice of their apparel and stuff like that. So I think it will happen.
Now, what's next for Diamond Walker right now?
Well,
for the next 5 years.
Next 5 years, well, we have a mission. We have a mission to take on Asia, right? Starting with Singapore and the rest of the big major cities to come. So yeah, that pretty much is what we're going to do for the next 5 years. Because after having our first store here in Singapore, we really because we are so personally involved with customers, right? Every customer walks through the door, we walk them through, and then we see the look on their face. It's like a man in a candy store, really. Really, just look at the eyes sparkle. So I think this is not only unique to Singapore. I think like places like Shanghai, Jakarta, I'm sure the men there face the same problem. They just lack of choice.
Now, when you first started Diamond Walker, was there any fear in you starting out a very new concept? Do you have some fears whether you will fail even?
Actually, for people who know me, right, I'm pretty much a fearless person. I'm not that I have no fear, but I'm pretty much fearless. So to me, I always start something with this attitude: assume success, and just do it and just have a shot at it. Life is too short to be thinking about, will it be successful? You know what? The only way to know is to do it. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
so fear wasn't on the top of my head actually.
Oh wow! Now, could you give 3 key, success points to young entrepreneurs, today? What the secret of your success in starting your business, of course.
I think first of all you need to have an idea what you want to do, right? And then with the idea, you need to do some form of like a market research. But you know what? Don't go too deep in the market research because, like what Einstein said, not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. So just follow your heart and don't listen too much to the naysayer because there's lots of people out there who's going to give you a bucket of ice water and say, you know what, it's not going to work. Of course, do your due diligence, do your own research, but then again, of course, if it doesn't cost you too much money, I think it's worth a shot. Just go for it. So yeah, first of all, have an idea in mind, and then do a bit of testing, talk to some people, do some research. I think you owe it to yourself to do a bit of research, and then finally, you need to have the passion to see it through. Because a lot of people say, yeah, I have the passion, but when the business doesn't go your way, and you start to realize you're not having the money to pay the bills, then that's when your passion is truly put to the test. That's when you see whether how real your passion is.
Wow! And speaking how real the passion and the realities of it, do you have a mentor actually to guide you on this business?
Well, I don't have a mentor per se, but what I do have is I've been quite blessed in my life. I've met many people who share their experiences, and also pretty much talk to people and hear what people say and keep an open ear, but of course make up your own mind what you want to do. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Mr. Victor Lee, for your sharing and also your aspirations and the plans for Diamond Walker. And folks, I'm Robin Stienberg. Thank you for joining me. Please do drop by at their stores over at Marina Bay Sands or even here at China Square Central with Diamond Walker. And they have great shoes, to try on and place an order with. And I tell you, I can't go without it. Once again, thank you for joining me. I'm Robin Stienberg. Have a good week ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Is it? Yeah. I hope you're not stressed.
No.
Okay, good.
No stress.
It's